In Nigeria, most of us were raised with fear. If you don't sit down there now, I'll flog you. So you are forced to sit. Here, they do not flog. The children are free with their teachers. They tell their teachers everything. If you are not careful, your child might get to the point where they will tell their teachers everything. They will not get home to tell you anything. Especially when your face becomes too strong for the children because you think you are training them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. When you don't, give that room for those children to be able to speak with you, to be able to open up to you, there is a point they might get to where they will feel freer talking to their teachers in the school,
Than
and they
talking
will
to you at home.
exactly. Now, one of the laws guiding social services here is that if
Sorry, let's put a pin there because we African moms really need to
eh,
understand that part because
that part,
we are very guilty of that. We're very guilty of that. You want your child to be afraid of you, to be scared of you, instead
eh,
of you making your own child your friend. You have to create a peaceful environment, a calm scenario for the child to be able to express his or her own feelings. Right now, she is explaining what the social services is all about and what they do and how they can impact our lives here. All right. The first thing she said, just to do a little recap for those that are just joining us, although you guys are late, you're 30 minutes late. For those that are just joining us, she made mention of cultural mediator. I'm taking notes. You should take note as well because me, I'm writing. So cultural mediator. She said something. I can't pin because we are sharing the screen. So cultural mediator. Take note of that and find that in your own city. All right. So that's where we are now. For those that are just joining us, you're welcome. Please power tap your screen and invite your friends. Okay. There'll be room for questions later. Please, ma,
okay.
what do the right to ask for the
For the
language?
language.
Yeah, she said you do have the right to ask.
Yeah, when you go to the school, they want to talk to you about your children and you don't understand all the Italian they are saying. You have the right to tell the school that you need a cultural mediator. Many regions, at least I know in Umbria, I know in Lazio, which is where Rome is, I know that many regions have projects for cultural mediators. You understand? So ask for a cultural mediator. At the least, at the worst case scenario, ask for an interpreter. Tell them to give you an interpreter. Even though the work of an interpreter is different from the work of a cultural mediator, but then in the worst case scenario, tell them to give you an interpreter. That you need an interpreter to be able to understand them better, because it is better for you to have somebody who is, mediating for you, who is explaining to you, than for you to explain halfway. Mm? Okay, one example comes to mind of a case, just something to share. I remember mm, a time I had to work in a school, and it so happened that it was because the mother of the child was quarreling with the teachers. Already, for the fact that she quarreled in the presence of the children, it was a problem. But the teachers were so nice, because the right thing would have been to report her, but they did not. What did they do? They asked for the service of a cultural mediator, and then I was called. And then when I got there, you know, what was the problem? Because they sent a letter to her to come to the school because they wanted to talk to her about her child. Then she carried the letter, go give one Nigerian brother to explain, give her waiting the right for the letter. Then the Nigerian brother tell am say make you no mind dem, na your pikin dem wan collect. So she herself with that pepper body, she carry that letter go school, go fight the teachers. When we now got there, I say, okay, bring the letter, let us see. The only thing that was written in that letter was that they wanted to see her on so day. And that was how the woman was almost weeping. I said, okay, the thing is this, next time, this is also another point. If you don't understand what they wrote on the letter, instead of you to go carry and give one Nigerian brother, go to
Use your
Sindakati.
phone.
Even if you can't use your phone, we are not all of us are tech savvy. Go to
Yeah.
Sindakati. Many of us go to Sindakati to do things. Go to Sindakati or go to Sportello per Immigrati. Most of us have Sportello per Immigrati around us. I'm talking of all these associations. Like Mercy was mentioning Archie. In Perugia, we have Archie, we have Chidis. Go to all those ones. Like some of you that finished from camps, like the association that took care of you, go to them. They always have Sportello for Immigrati. Go to them, show them the letter. Because many times, I always say this thing, that the people who have stayed many years in Italy, most of the time, are
Yeah.
the problems of the new Italians, of the new
New
immigrants.
generation.
Mm.